Hi everyone, and welcome to our first video homework assignment. Today's topic is the Rule of Augustus, which more specifically is the story of how the Roman Republic became the Roman Empire. First, let's back up. Remember this guy? This is Julius Caesar, and he was the one who convinced the consuls to form a triumvirate. He's also the one who declared himself dictator for life, and then was assassinated by the senators on March 15th, 44 BC. So, now that Julius Caesar is gone, now what? Well, power passed to a new triumvirate. And if you remember back, a triumvirate is a group of 3 consuls with equal ruling power. Julius Caesar had formed the first triumvirate, and so now the second one was made up of Marcus Antonius, Octavian Caesar, and Marcus Aemilius Lepidus. For a while, the triumvirate actually worked, and the 3 leaders made a lot of great improvements for the Roman Republic. But pretty soon, fights broke out among the 3 leaders. First to go was Marcus Aemilius Lepidus. He was accused of rebelling against the Roman Republic, and he was quickly exiled. Then Marcus Antonius was defeated in a civil war and was forced to flee the country and go to Egypt. So that just leaves Octavian Caesar, and by 31 BC, Octavian Caesar had all the power. By 27 BC, he told the Senate he had restored the Republic, and he actually even offered to resign as sole ruler of Rome. But, surprisingly, the Senate turned down his offer, and instead they gave him many awards and titles. What? Of course he accepted, and he took the title of Augustus, which means revered one, or honored one. So now Octavian Caesar is now Augustus Caesar. And you might be recognizing his last name. Octavian Caesar was actually the adopted son of Julius Caesar. Augustus was a clever politician. He held the offices of consul, and tribune, and high priest, and senator, all at the same time. That's pretty much like President Trump holding the office of president, and senator, and congressman, and, let's say, the Pope, all at the same time. It's unheard of. And yet, at the same time, Augustus refused to be crowned emperor. He knew that Romans wouldn't accept a one-person rule unless it looked like a form of a republic. The key word here is looked like a republic, because if he's an emperor, it's really not a republic anymore, is it? Still though, Augustus kept a few things the same. For one, he kept the assemblies and the government officials of the republic. He focused on Roman tradition and Roman values. And he was really careful to keep the senators happy and feeling important. But why? Why would Augustus focus so much on keeping the senators happy by keeping the old government officials still in place, even though they don't have a lot of power, or any power at all? Well, don't forget what happened to his adopted father, Julius Caesar. I think at this point, Augustus is just trying to avoid another assassination. So Augustus strengthened his authority in many different ways. First and foremost, he took control over the army by having each soldier swear allegiance to him personally. The word allegiance just means loyalty. So essentially, all the soldiers are giving their loyalty to him directly instead of the Roman Republic. He also gave government jobs to people based on talent rather than birth. And so that's going to give enslaved people and plebeians a chance to actually be part of the government for the first time in history. And thirdly, he made the empire's boundaries easier to defend. He's going to use natural boundaries instead of having to force his military to every edge of his empire. So if you look at the map, all the dark is going to be his empire. And so he's rounding out the boundaries to natural boundaries, like the Atlantic Ocean in the west, the Sahara Desert in the south, and the Rhine and Danube rivers in the north. So, instead of expanding, Augustus just improved the existing empire. He wanted to make his empire the best it possibly could be. To do that, he gave governors long terms of office and large salaries. That way, he thought that they would have enough experience to do the job well. But then, with all the extra money in their salaries, they wouldn't feel the need to overtax the people. Augustus also ordered the first census to make sure that people didn't pay too much in taxes. A census is a population count, which we still do today every 10 years. So the next one is going to be in 2020. To improve his empire, Augustus also wrote strict laws about how people should behave in public. He established a fire brigade, which is just a fancy word for a fire station. He made a police force. He made Rome's first library. He extended citizenship to all conquered people in the provinces, like in northern Africa and in Greece and the Middle East. And he promoted patriotism. But most importantly, in the 41 years that Augustus ruled, he brought peace and prosperity to Rome that lasted for over 200 years. This period of peace and prosperity is known as Pax Romana, which the word Romana is just a Latin word that means Roman, and the word Pax means peace. So essentially the word Pax Romana just means Roman peace. So, in the end, the Republic was destroyed. Democracy disappeared, and Rome became a dictatorship. But was it worth it? Was it worth losing the Roman Republic if you have a leader who makes all sorts of good things for Rome? That's up to you to decide. Thank you for doing your homework, and for all of my wonderful students who watched the entire video, I have a special prize to give you if you complete this activity. Thank you so much.